Hey everyone, so this video is going to be a Winter Roses Nose perfume and fragrance review video on 6 of the perfumes I own from Ariana Grande. I'll go through them in the order of when they were released, at least for the ones that I own. There are a few that were released in between that I don't have and a few newer ones that I don't have. But for the ones that I do own, I will talk you through my experience and the notes and what I think of each of the scents. But if there are any questions that I don't answer in this video, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I will answer them for you there. If you are interested in all of the range, please continue watching. Otherwise, if you're only interested in say 1 or 2, I've got timestamps down below so you can navigate to that part of the video easy if you want, so just check out the description. So to get started, I'm just going to go over my thoughts about the bottle. The bottle for the first 3 scents are the same, the colours are different though. The bottle for the last 3 scents is fairly similar, but I'll go through those at that time. So the bottle for the first 3, they're in this circular shape, glass bottle. The colours of the bottle, the lid and the pom-pom do change. Now the pom-pom is a little impractical. It does make it a bit difficult to spray and hold it, but it can be removed. There's a little clasp there that you just unhook and then it comes off. It can look a little tacky, but I think out on display, particularly up on my wall behind me, it's fine. I think it does add something to it, but it can be taken off. And I think the bottle overall, without the pom-pom, does look a little bit more grown up or refined versus the newer bottles, which can look a little juvenile, a little childish, at least when they're in their carriers. The lid itself fits quite nicely onto the fragrance and the feel of the bottle is quite good as well. So this particular scent is the first one I'll go over, and this is R.E.M. It was launched in 2015 and it's considered a fruity, floral, gourmand scent. So I'll walk you through what the notes are on this particular scent. So the top notes for this scent are raspberry, pear and grapefruit. The middle notes are vanilla orchid, lily of the valley and rose, and the base notes or the bottom notes are marshmallow, musk and woody notes. Now when I used this scent, I think across the whole range, for the most part, most of the perfumes feel like the other perfumes. So with the exception of 2, they kind of feel like they're from the same collection or the same release. They have that feel to them. This particular one, I noticed the pear a lot when I sprayed it. I think as far as my favourites go, this is probably my 3rd favourite from the 6 that I own. The first 5 are pretty close as far as what my favourites are, and the last one, I'll explain why when I get to that, why it stands out by itself. But this particular one, I did notice the pear. The pear is so fruity and it's really quite lovely, and then there's that creamy marshmallow, almost vanilla scent to it. When I sprayed this, it reminded me of something, and I think what it reminded me of was a Britney Spears scent. It's almost similar to me with elements of, I think it was Midnight Fantasy, but I think what I was remembering the most is Curious. So the one that came in the blue bottle with the pump. I don't own it anymore. I think I have a sample size somewhere, but the pear in this just reminds me of the Britney Spears scent, and I'm pretty sure it was Curious was the one that I'm thinking of. I do get some florals in this, but it is just quite sweet is the overall feel that I get. Across the board, the projection, for me at least, isn't really high for any of the scents. It's sort of a close scent. If you spray it, like spray a lot of it, you will notice it. On the clothes, it tends to last a lot longer than on my skin, but you still do get a good few hours of wear from this scent, and it does dry down to just a sweet kind of creamy feeling. But if you like pear, this might be one to try. I think it was nice. I do like it. I will continue to use it, but it's not a perfume that I would wear if I want people to notice my scent. It is sort of like I wear it because I like it kind of a scent. And these are generally the scents that I would tend to wear to bed because they're kind of soft and light. but the more you spray, the stronger it gets, and if you get it on your clothes, that can tend to make it a bit stronger as well. The next one is Sweet Like Candy. This one is in a pink bottle with a pink pom-pom, and you can't really see through. You can see through if you hold it up to light, but you can't really see through the bottle in general. It was released in 2016 and is also considered a floral fruity gourmand scent. This one, to me, I noticed that it was quite similar to R.E., at least that's the feeling that I got from it. If anything though, it's similar to R.E. but stronger on me. So this one did project a little bit more, and I think there was something about this one that just made it seem a little more almost tropical, and it could be like a citrusy kind of scent to it. It also made me get the feelings of the old original Escada type scents, but lighter, a lighter version of that. There's no coconut or anything in this, so if you're looking for a more like tropical scent that doesn't have a coconut, this one might be an option. So the notes in this one, the top notes are blackberry, pear and bergamot. The middle notes are whipped cream, marshmallow, blackcurrant, frangipani, honeysuckle and jasmine. And the base notes are cashmere wood and vanilla. So this one I do get a sweetness to it. I get the pear still, and it could be the blackberries or the blackcurrant. It's just a slightly different sweetness. The florals in this I prefer, I think. It could be just the frangipani or something in it just makes it seem a little bit more summery and more tropical, which I quite enjoy. So again, if you're wanting something similar, if you like R.E. and you're looking for something similar but maybe a bit stronger, slightly different, maybe a bit more summery, this one might be one to try. And yeah, that's my overall thoughts on this one. It does have a higher projection, it lasts a good few hours again, and on clothing it did last a lot longer than that too. Overall though, this was probably my second favourite of all 6. The next one is Moonlight. This was released in 2017 and is considered a floral fruity fragrance. So the bottle itself is sort of like an iridescent white, purple, pink. The cap is purple and the pom-pom's purple. This one I think is my favourite out of all of them. I did find it to be a bit softer and a bit more close to the skin, so the projection wasn't huge. The longevity was about the same, a good few hours, but again, the more you sprayed, the stronger it seemed, and if it was on clothing, it did last quite a bit longer on clothes. This one, when I sprayed it, I had a feeling like I'd smelled it before. There was something about it that was familiar to me, and I think I worked out what it was. I kept thinking of Lush, and if you've tried the Lush Comforter Bubble Bar, so that deep sort of maroon, magenta and white swirled bubble bar from Lush, it reminds me of that. It has a feeling like that, and I think it's the black currant in it. As soon as I sprayed this, I get a really strong black currant scent, and the plum as well was something that stood out on my skin. So with this one, the top notes are blackcurrant and plum, the middle notes are marshmallow and peony, and the base notes are sandalwood, amber and vanilla. So I actually really quite enjoy this one compared to the others. It still has that light, fun, sweet kind of fruity scent to it, but I really enjoyed the plum and the blackcurrant scent, and it reminded me of the Comforter, which was something from Lush that I used to really enjoy using. I don't know if they still sell it. It's been a while since I've purchased Lush products, but it made me think of that, and I was like, oh, I kind of miss that. But yeah, I really quite liked that in this one. The marshmallow and the vanilla offer that sweetness that comes to it, and the peony is that just a gentle kind of floral. I didn't notice a whole heap of peony in it. It was mainly the black currant that stood out to me, and that's fine because I really enjoyed that. So overall, this was my favourite of the 6. It's my top choice. The first 3, they're all kind of similar. They have slight variations, but you can tell they're from the same release, but this was my favourite. So the next one is Cloud. This one was released in 2018, and I think it's probably the most popular of the range. I know they've come out with Cloud Intense, or a second version, and I think that's only this year. But I haven't tried it, I haven't even seen it yet, so I don't know if it's released in Australia. But Cloud, I think, is the most popular of the whole range, and I think that's because it is considered a dupe or a very close match to a very expensive perfume, the Baccarat Rouge 540. It's said to be quite a similar feeling and scent to that scent, which is also already a very popular scent. I think RE is also popular in the range, but this one is the one that is sold out quite a lot, is one that everybody tries to get, and if you only own one of them, chances are it's going to be this one. It is very different though. This is one of the 6 where it has a similar feeling to the rest of the range, but it stands out on its own as it could be a standalone scent, and it does have a different feel. It's considered a fruity floral gourmand still, and it comes in this cradle. So this is the first of the different types of bottles. So the bottle itself is just a circular glass bottle with a cloud-shaped lid, which is quite fine, and I think if it had a simple lid, this would look quite classic on a display. This, it has a funky smell to it. It's like a weird plastic. And look, on display here, I think it works fine. If you had a more refined kind of perfume collection on a dressing table, for example, this might stand out. But I think all of these scents make amazing gifts for people who are just getting into fragrance, or younger people, because they're not too grown up, they're not too mature smelling. They still have a young, youthful feel to them and can be worn by a wide range of people, but I think they're not too heady, not too strong, and they just would make for wonderful gifts for people. So that's something that I think if you're looking for a gift for somebody who's younger, a teenager, or somebody new to fragrance, this would be great. Perfect Christmas present too. So with Cloud, I'll go through the notes. Now, the notes for Cloud are top notes of lavender, pear, bergamot, middle notes of whipped cream, praline, coconut, and vanilla orchid, and base notes of musk and woody notes. So what I found with Cloud is that on the initial spray, it's just almost airy and light, and it's a different kind of scent. I think to me it smells almost milky. I do get a milkiness to it, and even when I sprayed it, my husband even commented that it smelled a little like marshmallow milky. It's different. I've never smelt the Baccarat Rouge 540. It's something that I've been interested in trying. If I can grab a hold of a sample of it somewhere, I will, or when shops are open and I can find it, I might spray it and see, because it's always been one that sounds like something that I may enjoy. And I enjoy Cloud. The lasting power isn't very strong, but again, the more you spray it, the longer it lasts. You can still spray it on your skin, you smell it on your skin for a while after. It just doesn't have huge projection, but it's just that airy feel to it. Again, I do smell the pear. Pear seems to be amplified on my skin quite a lot. I don't get a strong lavender, but I do get that sort of sweetness to it. I don't get a huge heap of coconut or anything like that either when it's on me. I just get that light floral with milk and cream, and it's obviously the whipped cream, I guess the whipped cream note and the musky note to it, and pear, but it's sort of like fresh, out of the shower, clean, airy, watery scent. I do enjoy it. Out of them though, it probably is my fourth favourite, just because I think from the collection I enjoy that real sweet kind of scent. But this one stands out on its own, and I think it is still a lovely scent. There's nothing wrong with any of these except for the next one. There's something wrong, but I think it's my skin. But yeah, overall I really enjoy Cloud. It does make me interested even more to try the Baccarat Rouge 540 though. So this one was my fourth favourite, and that's what I thought on that one. The next one is Thank You Next, released in 2019, and I think there is a Thank You Next 2.0 version that was released. I don't have that one. This one also comes in a cradle. The overall look of the bottle without the cradle I think is more classic. You've got a square lid and just the bottle goes in there. So on display it kind of looks cute. It's fine. Again, it's got that plasticky rubber cradle, but without it, it's also okay. Now, Thank You Next is described as a fruity floral gourmand, yet again. And the notes in this one I'll walk you through too. And then I'll go through a bit of a story. It's almost like a roller coaster of emotions that I felt when using this one. And after reading some other people's reviews, I think some other people go through the same experience. The notes in this one are raspberry and pear as the top notes. The middle notes are coconut and pink rose, and the base notes are macarons and musk. Now I thought, I'd sprayed this before, but I sprayed it on a piece of cardboard, like a little sample thing. And I think I must have sprayed it on clothing, because I was like, oh yeah, I smell that coconut. And it was a beautiful coconut scent, and the raspberries were there, but it was mainly the macarons or macaroons and coconut that I could smell. A beautiful, sweet, tropical, coconutty dream. And even smelling it from the bottle, that's what it smells like. It's gorgeous. On my skin, it went funky. There was something about it that at first when I sprayed it, I thought I could smell coriander or cilantro for some of you. And for me, I'm the type of person that can't eat coriander or cilantro. It tastes soapy, but I can still smell it, and it smells like what I would imagine other people smell it. That almost citrusy, green, plant-like smell. Another thing that I was thinking of is that it almost smelled like dill. So that really green dill, coriander, green planty kind of smell. And then it hit me that it kind of smelled a little bit cucumbery. And I thought about pickles, which I thought was just bizarre. Like that dill, coriander, planty, cucumbery scent is like the scent of a pickle. Side note, I wish I could eat pickles. I just don't like them. I do try them because I want to eat pickles. I love the idea of a pickle, but not on my fragrance. I don't want to smell like one. And it took at least an hour for that to disappear on my skin. And it was just the strangest experience. I thought I was going crazy. So I tried it again on my skin, and it did the same thing. Now, after that pickle, coriander, green top disappeared, after the hour or so, it became that wonderful, smooth, sweet, coconutty, musky scent that I smelled the first time, where I'd sprayed it on the card or smelled it from the bottle or had it on my clothes. And that's why this one's my least favourite, because that pickle juice, pickle dill, coriander scent just hangs around for too long for me to justify using this. if I use this, just say on my pillowcase or on my sheets or on my clothes or something like that, yeah, no problem, that's fine. But just be careful that depending on your skin, some people do not have this reaction at all, but for me, it was just a bit too much. So it's a shame though, because I really enjoy the coconut in this one. So yeah, if I can put up with that pickle smell, although maybe, but yeah, just an interesting one to keep your eye out for. So just, if you're not sure, maybe buy a smaller one, but look, overall, all of these are really quite affordable anyway. So if you're willing to take the risk, go ahead and do it, that's fine. It's just, don't be shocked, don't think it's bad, it just does this weird thing, a weird reaction with my skin. So yeah, did you experience the same thing, or am I just, I think a few people have, but let me know. The last one in my collection is R.E.M or R.E.M, and this one was released in 2020. So the fragrance itself is described as an amber vanilla fragrance, and this one, like Cloud, it has a similar feeling to the rest of the collection, but it kind of stands out as being a separate scent as well. It is different enough that it stands out on its own. So the bottle for this particular one, it comes in this crystal looking holder, which I think of the 3 holders, it's probably my favorite. It kind of looks really cool. Again, without the holder, it kind of looks like a classic type bottle. The lid might be a bit tall, but yeah, it's quite a normal looking perfume. And even in this, it kind of looks pretty cool. So if you know somebody who really enjoys like crystal displays or purple and unicorns and glittery stuff, this might be a nice little decorative bottle. Now, as far as the scent goes for R.E.M or R.E.M, it's probably my 5th favourite out of the 6, but it's not bad. They're all very close to each other. What I get from this when I spray it is lavender. On me, the lavender stands out a lot, and that's fine with me. I quite enjoy it. So the top notes for this one is zephyr, so sweet, kind of sweet note, caramel, salt, fig and quince. Middle notes are pear blossom and lavender, and the base notes are musk, tonka bean and sandalwood. I don't get a whole lot of the fig or the quince. It does smell sweet, but not super caramel kind of sweet. Like the Fantasy from Britney Spears, that's a different kind of caramel scent. This one is just sort of a salty sweet scent and slightly floral with lavender really standing out for me. And then the musk and the tonka bean adds that kind of smooth mellow base. Hey, so Editing Renee here. Just really quickly, I noticed something that I'd written down that I didn't share in relation to R.E.M, is that at parts of it, particularly when it was drying down later on, it actually reminded me a little bit of Rochas Man, which is a scent that I actually really enjoy, particularly wearing to bed as well, but it has a lavender scent in it and a few other similarities. It's not the same, it's definitely not a dupe, but if you kind of like this type of scent, then that might be something to consider as well. But back to the video. This one I did enjoy using, and I think it would make a wonderful bedtime scent, at least for me. Again, it's not a huge projection, it's not super duper strong and lasting power. You get a good few hours from it anyway. So if you don't like lavender, maybe try it first, because at least on me, the lavender did come out quite strong. But that's pretty much it for the overview of all 6 of the fragrances. Overall, from the collection, what my thoughts are is, yeah, they're the celebrity scents. Some of them have feelings like other celebrity scents, but I think as far as perfumes go, they're still decent. there's still scents in them and they can still be enjoyed. What I like about these ones is they are incredibly affordable. You can pick them up for quite a good price a lot of the time. These are all 100ml bottles, and I think I got them all for $40 or less. And they're generally on sale quite frequently, sometimes even less than that, like $39, $30, no more than $50. I wouldn't pay full price for them though. I wouldn't pay, say, more than, say, $60 for them. I just don't think it's worth it. If you really enjoy them, sure, why not? Go ahead, because that's still not super expensive, at least in Australia, for a perfume. But you can get them for a much lower price than that quite often. So they are definitely affordable. For that reason, I also think they would make a wonderful gift for somebody who is starting out in the world of fragrance. There's enough of a range that they're sweet, they're kind of airy, there's a few more grown-up scents. I think Moonlight smells a little bit more mature. Cloud and R.E.M also smell a little bit more mature. They're not quite so sweet and young and teenagery, I guess. So if you are looking for that side of it, then maybe those might be the ones to go towards. But I think they would make a wonderful gift. They also come in the smaller sizes, so even if you wanted to put together like a little package of a couple of them, and I think they do sell miniatures of a few of them too if you can get your hands on them. I think they make wonderful gifts. They would be fantastic for younger people who, you know, I think they'd love them. The bottles, the fact that it's Ariana Grande, I'm sure doesn't hurt, but they do have that celebrity scent feel. But I don't think people would really care as long as it smells good, right? At least that's my theory. Like, I own so many Britney Spears perfumes. Nostalgic, yes, they're sweet. Yes, I'm in my 30s, but I still wear them. I still enjoy them because that's the scents that I enjoy. I enjoy a wide range of things, and I think that's the thing to remember with fragrance is wear whatever you want as long as you enjoy it. That's all that matters. The whole thing though, they are affordable, they are really lovely scents. Apart from that weird pickle experience, there was nothing wrong with them. Lasting power isn't terrific, but it's not terrible. One thing, if I do have one negative, is the fact that the names of the perfumes are nowhere on the bottle. So I cannot see them on the label unless I'm really not reading it correctly. But it doesn't say it anywhere on there. None of them have a name. So for me, I kind of like to have the names on the bottles, but none of them do have it. So if you are like that, then that's just something to keep in mind. It would have been nice to have the name even printed on the label underneath. It's just a personal thing for me. I like to have that. But look, if that's the worst thing about the perfumes, they're not going too bad. They're still doing pretty well. If you do have any questions, though, like I've said before, that I haven't answered in this video, please feel free to leave your comments down below. If you've tried any of these or any of the other Ariana Grande fragrances, particularly the new ones, I think there's Cloud Intense and the Thank You Next has a 2.0 version. If that's different, let me know. I haven't tried them. And I think there's a few other different newer ones too. So if you've tried them, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. If you think I should try to find some of the other ones, let me know if there's anything else you're interested in seeing. But like always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a fantastic afternoon, morning or evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.